So here are 12 tips that you can use to make sure that you don't run into session limits again and that you maximize your token usage. Let's just get straight into it. Now, firstly, a quick word on how you actually get billed. Now, you may know that Claude bills on tokens, not your actual messages. And a token is about on average 3/4 of a word. So you can see here, I typed in, you should subscribe and go to learn.nextweek.org. What a great sentence. And then on the right-hand side, you can see that that converts into about 21 different tokens. Now, it's good to understand that there's two types of tokens that you can get charged on, input and output. Now, input is everything going in. So that's your prompt, your whole conversation history, your files. Meanwhile, output is what Claude sends back. So it's the reply plus the thinking that it does first. Now, on average, output is going to cost 5 times that of the input. So every word that Claude writes back is the expensive part. But the key thing is you don't pay the same rate for all your input tokens, and that is because of prompt caching. Every message that you send, the whole conversation gets sent to Claude again. But the thing is, the part that you've already sent, that is read from cache at about 10% of the price. Only your newest message is charged at full price. So this is 10% and this is full price. Now the thing is that cache typically only lives for 5 minutes. So if you wait too long in between your messages, Claude is going to charge you full price for your previous messages. Also, those Claude MD files that you've heard about, or the memory feature, that is not the model remembering, it's just getting pasted back into your conversation each time. And they're full price. So because of that, we know that we need to do 2 things. 1, keep each turn small. And 2, we need to keep our sessions warm. Every single tip that I'm about to show you ladders up to these 2 things. Tip number 1 here is seeing where your tokens go. So we're about to do an audit of our entire window. So I've just opened up a Claude session in this carousel generation repo. And the first command we're going to run is /usage. Now this command shows you your current usage, your weekly usage based on different models. And it also shows what is contributing to your limit usage. For me, I can see that I'm running a lot of sub-agent heavy sessions. I'm doing a lot of things in parallel on this repo. I also have a lot of sessions over 150K, which I would want to cut down. And I have an MCP server that I'm using a lot, which makes sense as this is a carousel generator repo, and I'm creating all the carousels in paper. It'll show you usage by skills, sub-agents, and MCP servers here as well. But the / command I like more is /context. Now this draws your whole window and it shows you exactly where your tokens are going. In fact, this is a data plugin, so I don't even need to be using it in this repo. I have quite a few plugins and there's a lot of things I can do to optimize this repo. Now, if you scroll all the way to the top, you can see how many tokens you are actually using before you even start prompting. Now, something I like to do to tidy up repos is simply to run the / command and then say, based on what you can tell, what should I do to improve my context usage? I'm going to get Claude to do some of the dirty work for me. So I can see that I have some MCP servers that I'm not actually running in here. The post-hog plugin, I'm definitely not running in here, so I can uninstall that. And the memory file is quite long and it's probably stale as well. You can go through these prompts and get Claude to tidy up your repo for you. I'm not actually as worried about these MCP servers as MCPs are loaded on demand now. So these tokens here are only loaded if I actually need to call on them. But if for whatever reason, some of the skills call on these MCP servers and I'm not actually properly using it, then it's going to eat my context window. Tip number 2 is starting a new chat for each new task. This is such a simple one, but makes such a big difference. Now, something a lot of people don't know is that you can type in /rename and then type in the name of what you're actually talking about. So for us, it is cleaning up our context, and then you can hit enter. Now, this session is now called cleaning up our context. The longer this context window grows, and don't worry, I'm going to show you how to actually create this yourself, the more tokens you're going to be using. So if you finish the task, make sure that you run /clear. This resets your context window and means that you're going to be paying less per message. Now, let's say you were doing a task that you wanted to go back to. You would rename it first. You could run /clear, and then you can actually run /resume and go back to that cleaning up our context window. Now we can go back to this chat exactly how it was before. Super useful tip, but most people don't do it. Tip number 3 is compact early and keep things warm. You may know that Claude auto compacts your session when you get to 95% plus. This is way too late. Your context window is already bloated and you're going to be charged a lot of money. So you can run this command right here, /compact, and this is going to compact your conversation. Essentially what this does is creates a short recap of your window and shrinks right back down. You can even write something like /compact and then say what you want to focus on as well. So something like auth login changes. Now, the reason this matters so much is because of that 5-minute cache that we were talking about before. If you're stepping away from a big session, run /clear or /compact before you go so that you come back to something small and cheap instead of a cold history at a full price. Tip 4 is edit, don't follow up. Let's say I just ran this prompt here. I want to create an app and I'm like, oh my goodness, what have I done? This is not the direction I want to go in. Now, instead of editing this and saying something like, actually, I don't want this. I was completely off the wrong track. I want to do this instead. Don't. Every follow-up is going to get bolted on that history and you're going to get charged more. The best thing is to edit your original prompt instead of creating a new one. Now, the way to do this is to click escape twice and it goes into this rewind mode and I can just go back to I want to create an app right here. Alternatively, I could go /rewind and then I could go back to this place right here. You're going to have 4 different options. Restore the conversation. So this will mean that the conversation will be forked. The code will be unchanged. Summarize from here. So messages after this point will be summarized. And summarize up to here. Preceding messages will be summarized. This and subsequent messages will remain unchanged. You will stay at the end of the conversation. For us, we just want to restore the conversation. So we go back to here and suddenly it's like we never even did that command. Beautiful. Make sure that you interrupt Claude if it's going the wrong way. Tip 5 is be specific and use plan mode. Please just stop putting in stuff like improve my code base. Maybe in a few years AI will be there, but right now it's not. If you know that you need to change one file, at that file. So let's say I want to change my Claude MD file. I can make sure that I at the Claude MD file and then I have my request. Claude is going to read through just that one file instead of hunting through the entire repo. You can press Shift and Tab and then toggle to plan mode. This I recommend for big tasks in particular, and it helps you get to the plan before Claude goes and makes all the changes. If Claude goes down the wrong path, it's just going to burn your tokens. Tip number 6 is keeping your Claude MD file short. So if you go to your project that you're working on, you should have a Claude MD file. If you don't have one, you definitely should run this command /init and it'll help you create a Claude MD file that'll help with organization of your code base. Essentially, this file gets resent every session. So every line is tokens you are paying on every message, even like a 1-word reply. Anthropic's own docs and guides say that you should keep this under 200 lines, and I definitely agree with that. In here, you should be putting in only your essentials. So your tech stack, your conventions, build and test commands, anything needed now and then, like a PR review checklist or migration steps, move them to a skill, because a skill is going to only fully load when it's needed, but a Claude MD file, you should treat it like an index. If your Claude MD file is too long, simply ask Claude something like this: please audit my Claude MD file based on best practices, and ask me questions to better understand my use cases. Now, the reason I do something like this is because every single line within this Claude MD file should be fighting for its life. You don't want to put anything in here that is not necessary. So here I can look through some of these weak spots, go through them. If I think they're not necessary, I will delete them. Tip number 7 is delegating large jobs to sub-agents. So some tasks you're going to dump a wall of text into context, and you might run a whole suite of tests, or you might want to fetch some pages or docs. If you do that in the main chat and you have all of that output that's going to sit in your window, this is going to eat up your context. So instead, you could run sub-agents. So I could say something like, spawn 5 sub-agents to analyze this code base and tell me what could be improved with the skills here. When I hit enter, essentially there's 5 agents that are going to fan out. Each agent has their own separate context window. So they do the messy work and then they just provide a short summary into the main chat. So the thousands of lines of output are only staying isolated in those windows. So let's say each sub-agent uses 100,000 tokens. Each session has 100,000 tokens, and then you have one main session where you're providing a summary of those. You can change the model that will be used for these sub-agents as well. We're going to cover that soon. But this one I would recommend for tasks where you can run things in parallel. It's going to speed things up massively as well. Tip number 8 is all about picking the right model. As we ran over before, there's a lot of different models, and different models are going to cost different amounts of money. Haiku is the cheapest, Sonnet is a mid-range model, and then Opus is the most expensive. Well, now Fable is out, so that's the most expensive. But essentially, there's a good rule of thumb here. If something is simple and repetitive, maybe it's formatting or quick drafts or renaming stuff, use Haiku. Sonnet is your everyday coding default. That's going to be powerful enough for most tasks. And then save Opus for the genuinely hard stuff, the bigger refactors. Maybe you want to do a planning session with Opus. If you want to change models, all you got to do is just type in /model, and then you can choose the one you want. So maybe I just want to switch to Sonnet. I'm going to go in there, and now I am using Sonnet. Likewise, I can spawn subagents with different models as well. It's kind of interesting as well, right? We were talking about this tokenizer, or the idea of tokens. Opus 4.7 use a different tokenizer that can actually cost about 35% more on the same text. So the old token estimates you've seen before are usually a lower estimate than what they actually are. Sneaky, sneaky. Tip number 9 is turning down thinking for simple tasks. You know how sometimes you just want to do a mindless task and you don't want to actually think? Same thing for Claude. The bro gets tired. Extended thinking is on by default normally. And remember what we said, thinking is billed as output tokens, so that's going to cost more. For hard problems, it's great to think more, but for easy problems, why would you want that? In order to do this, all you got to type in is /effort, and then you can choose the level that you want. So either low, or you could type in medium, high, extra high, max, or auto. For harder tasks, use extra high or max. For easier tasks, use low or medium. One catch though, for that new model Fable 5, you can't turn off the thinking. It's always on there. Tip number 10 is making Claude talk less. There's a free skill that is on GitHub right now. I'll leave it in the link down below. But essentially what it makes Claude do is answer in a very stripped down kind of way. If you want to install it, you can install it just through here and just run the command in your terminal. I'm going to copy this in. I'm then going to press exclamation mark, and that is shell mode enabled. So I can just run this command and I will enable caveman mode. Now, I already have this installed. The important part of your code is going to stay untouched, but only the fluff where Claude just like agreeing with you and saying all this random stuff to you back, that's going to be cut out. You can choose what level of caveman mode you want. There is caveman light, caveman full, and caveman ultra. When you run this, it will lock in caveman ultra. Just to give you a bit of an understanding, if I did caveman light, I would start seeing some responses that kind of look like this. See, it's much more cut back, kind of talks like a caveman. And I'll run the same thing, show me what changed in SkillMD, and it cuts out everything. It's just showing me the exact things that changed, nothing else. This one I've been finding pretty useful, to be honest. 2 tips left. Tip number 11 is know how the limits work in 2026. Super simple. If you go to your terminal here, you type in /usage, you will see when your sessions reset. There is a weekly limit and there is a daily limit that is resetting every 5 hours. This starts when you have your first message for the day. This means that if you do all of your hardest tasks in the morning, you're going to run into session limits pretty fast. So what I do now is if I have large tasks, I often batch them throughout the day. So I have some in the morning, some in the afternoon, and then I run some at night just before I'm about to go to bed. If it's a task with low risk like discovery, or maybe I'm making carousels or something like that, I will run that overnight and have something to review in the morning. That doesn't affect my session usage for the morning. If you're worried about your laptop turning off, you can go to your terminal and you can run this command right here, caffeinate, and now this will keep your laptop on. Also, I'd recommend plugging in your laptop because Claude uses a lot of battery. Don't do this every night. It'll cook your battery for sure. Final tip of the video, and this is probably my favorite one, but that is use a status line. If you've been paying attention, you notice that I have the status line at the bottom of my bar here. This shows me how much context I'm using, what the session cost would be if I was running an API, what model I'm on, and also my Git branch as well. This is the best thing I have found for reminding myself to clear context. If you want to learn how to do that, you can go to this website here and then search for status line right over here and start this project. It's a completely free project. It'll show you how to do it step by step, but I'd recommend giving it a go. Also, if you want to learn more stuff about Claude, there is a bunch of free projects in here that will walk you through how to become much better at using Claude Code. You can also type in a topic that you want to learn here and we will create a step-by-step project for you. As always, that wraps up the video. Like and subscribe, do all that cool stuff, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.